All right, what's going on, people? This is Shok. Got the homie Dom over here, also known as King Zell. Follow this man on Twitch. And wanted to get him in this video just in case I missed anything or in case he had anything he wanted to add. And also just want to say, I'm not making this video, to be negative or anything like that. It's legit to just kind of bring awareness to Nintendo of the games, the issues revolving around this game. And I mean, I'll also be doing a video on everything I love about Ultimate, and of course doing a video overall. But let me just preface this by saying that I do enjoy Ultimate. Pretty sure Dom does as well. We enjoy the game overall. But there are some very, like, just very small things. They're like simple fixes, but despite being small things, they make a huge difference type deal. And these are the types of things we're going to be talking about in this video. So the first thing I have on my list here that I could really talk about is the overall lack of content. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm personally enjoying World of Light, but I'm not using my own experience and projecting that onto everyone else. Some people don't like World of Light. Some people don't really care. Some people haven't gotten into it. I don't think you played it at all.
I haven't played it.
Like, he hasn't played it at all, right? Luckily, though, he's a competitive player, so he likes labbing and stuff like that. So for him, he has plenty to play. But let's say you're not a competitive player and you don't really like World of Light on top of that. What do you really have to do? You know what I mean? There's World of Light, there's classic mode, which no one really does for an extended period of time, and then that's kind of it, If you're not playing World of Light, there really isn't anything else to do outside of course, just playing against other people, which, might not be so time consuming if you are a more casual player. And also, especially if you're one of those people who are refusing to pay for Nintendo Switch Online, which I don't fucking blame y'all. Fuck that shit. But yeah, just if it's kind of like all or nothing type of deal. If you enjoy World of Light, you can easily squeeze at least 40 hours, all the way up to like 80 hours out of that thing. But if you don't, it's kind of one of those situations where, what do you do? You know what I mean? The second and third things, they kind of go hand in hand a little bit. They're kind of related to one another. That is the input delay in this game, as well as the buffering system. And if I remember correctly, the buffering system is 15 frames. Do you know for sure?
That's
what
what
the
I've
window is?
heard. It's 15 frames.
Yeah, I think I've seen that figure, 15 frames. So for those of you who don't understand what like a buffering system is in a fighting game, basically, it's the window of time that the game will store an input that you do. So let's say in Smash, right, you press the A button to like do a jab, but immediately after pressing the A button, you'll hold like shield, and then you'll shield on the first frame possible once that jab is over from pressing the A button or something like that, right? Or let's say that you're jumping and before you hit the ground, you input shield and a direction on the stick within 15 frames before hitting the ground. Once you hit the ground, the game will then execute that. So if you guys have played games like the NetherRealm Studios fighters, if you guys play games like Mortal Kombat and Injustice, that's kind of a good way to think about it. You know how you can kind of like just dial the buttons before the actual moves come out? It's kind of like that, but put into Smash, and it's just not a good feel for Smash, because what it ends up doing is, let's say you hold the stick in one direction for too long, then it could just be like some milliseconds that you do it, right? But the game will take that and be like, okay, you meant to do this. So one thing me and Dom do a lot is whenever we roll once, we'll end up rolling twice, because in this game you have to, and when you input something, you got to take your fingers off immediately of whatever you pressed, because the game is very sensitive in remembering held inputs or accidentally pressed buttons, and it will input those things like as soon as possible. And Tom does it all the time. He air dodges off stage because he'll be trying to like tech the floor or something, but he misses the floor, and it'll take the shield input that you did like an hour ago or something like that, right? So just a lot of freaking mistakes that happen with this buffer system. And, along with the buffer system, like I said, the first thing is also input delay. Just playing the game, your character does not move as immediately as they can, right, as you move the thumbstick and things like that.
It's like you click the stick, and then like about a half of a second later is when they actually start doing whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. And so what that ends up doing is it kind of makes, I guess, the best. And I don't want it to make it sound like the game doesn't feel good, because like it's a good feeling game, but you can definitely tell that something is off. It kind of makes it feel like you're kind of moving through mud sometimes. Like there's some thickness to the controls, like you're knee high in mud and you're trying to like trudge through it type of deal. And I think they did this on purpose in order to make the online feel closer to the offline, but that's completely useless, especially in Nintendo's case, because that online has even more input delay. It has like 5 times more input delay than the offline, would ever have. So that's just kind of pointless at the end of the day, because the online never feels close to the offline anyways. But that's pretty much it with the input and buffer system, kind of self-explanatory. The next couple things I'd want to talk about are the menus. You want to talk about this stuff? Like the UI, how many times you have to press A to get to another match?
Okay, so first thing first, they need to do something with the ready when you pick your characters. Because, I get it, the roster's big, we have 70 characters. But when we finally finish selecting our characters, for some reason they thought it was a good idea to make it to where you can't even see the characters after that point, because the fight thing is just so big.
Wham! I'm here, motherfuckers.
So like when you're trying to switch characters, either you just press the B button, but you can't even see where your icon is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like that. And then I don't like the fact that when you first go online, because this actually messes with a lot of people, you have to set no name controls.
Oh, dude, I forgot about that. I didn't have that in there.
Yeah, you have to set no name controls.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you go online, if you have custom made controls, you're going to be playing with default controls. Because I was playing with my friends the other day, and I guess he must not have played online before, but he was talking about, he's like, bro, why don't I have tap jump on? And stuff like that. So selecting your name online means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's only affected by the no name controls.
So the way it works, guys, is basically the online does not use the local tags that you make on your game at all. The online automatically defaults to the no-name tag, which is when you don't put in a tag. So you have to change the default controls in order to change your online. But the problem with that is if you have friends that come over, or you use your Switch for tournament setups or something like that, you have to make sure that you always switch the no-name tag back to just the default. And it's just kind of a clunky mess. And the first thing he said with the whole ready screen, once everyone selected their character, and it kind of covers up most of the rosters, like, if you're playing with the CPU or something, you want to set it to, like, a CPU to, like, train against or something like that, you kind of have to just move the cursor around to, like, scan for where that character is, or their little cursor thing, and then grab it and move it. You can't really see where it is. It's just really weird. And then, after a match, once you get to the result screen, you can't press start anymore to just close out your result little, I guess you call it a little tab or whatever. You have to press A like 4 times.
You have to press A. And then and then having to reselect characters after every round is really annoying.
And then once you get to the stages first, which I don't like. I don't like the whole stage first thing. I mean, I guess it helps because the stage is loading in the background, and that's cool. But I don't know, man. I'd just rather get to the character select screen, personally. I don't know.
And then the fact that, I don't know what it is, but like whenever, after a round, and you're selecting your characters, and this is why it's stupid that you have to keep reselecting characters. Because all of a sudden the game doesn't know what skin you just had, and so when you select your color, it takes like 5 seconds to actually load the palette.
Yeah.
And all it is, it's just a still image. Like, it's just like, what is going on?
So what we're talking about is like the character portrait down the little squares, whatever, at the bottom. Like sometimes it takes a while to load, and I'm pretty positive like for certain characters it takes a longer time than others, which is like really, really strange. I don't know.
Like it takes like 4 or 5 seconds to load a color.
Sometimes it can take that long. So it's like people might argue that the stage first gets you into the game faster, but I mean honestly, it probably is evened out by the fact that 1, it could take you a long time to get your skin. 2, you have to reselect your characters because the game doesn't remember the characters that you previously had. For those of you who don't play Smash like that or whatever, or you don't know what we're talking about, in previous Smash games, let's say I chose Jigglypuff, someone else chooses Link, we play a match, it's over. We go back to the character select screen, we're still on Jigglypuff and Link. In Ultimate, when you go back to the character select screen, the characters are wiped, and you have to reselect all the time. So although you may want to do one matchup over and over and over again, you're practicing characters, right? You have to keep reselecting over and over again. And another thing we forgot to mention is how if you're during rotation, you can't take the other player out.
Oh, yeah.
So like, if you're doing rotation, like let's say there's like 3 people and like losers rotating out or something, the loser is the only one that can interact with their little player tile. I don't know if those things have an official name, but whatever. The little player tile at the bottom. In other Smash games, you could put your cursor over to someone else's box and take them out, right? Change them to a CPU or take them out. In Ultimate, for some reason, they made it to where the person has to take themselves out, which is like really, really bad because some people just forget because they're not used to it. I remember like before the launch or whatever, you know, where we were doing rotation and we kept on having to like, dude, we need you to take yourself out, because after a match he would get on his phone or I'm gonna get some water or something. We're like, no, you need you to take yourself out first. It's just kind of a hassle. And like none of these things are like, colossal, deal breaker types of deals, but there's a good enough quantity to the point where it is an annoyance, and then it's definitely a noticeable thing. All these things kind of combined with the menus in the UI, they just end up adding in a lot of unnecessary time to go ahead and get to your next match. It's really slow.
There is one thing that I always wanted to know the reasoning behind. Why do you have to hold B to go back?
Oh yeah, and I feel like it's for longer than usual.
Like why can't I just press B to go back? I mean, I get it. Back when most people were trying to press buttons, someone could accidentally go back to the wrong menu. But even then, it doesn't take long to get to these menus. So why do I have to sit there and hold the button for like 2-3 seconds?
Yeah.
To go back.
Like I don't know. Maybe we're just used to PM, but I'm pretty sure like
Melee was like that though.
Yeah, Melee as well. But I'm saying like I'm pretty sure that it takes even longer in this game.
Yeah.
Like holding B feels like you're sitting there for like
a
good minute holding that B button.
Yeah, you gotta sit there and listen to that like noise.
The little loading bar.
Like, what is that, bro? Like,
yeah, it's like I don't know. So like it's like the menus in the UI once you get into like the Smash tile specifically or whatever, the Smash section, it's not sluggish in the sense that everything loads slowly, or like it doesn't get to the next screen quickly. It's just there's a lot you have to do now to get back. Or in the holding B case, yeah, that does take you a long time, but not because of loading, just because the threshold it requires you to hold the B button down. It's just unnecessarily long for no reason. Like it's a good maybe 3 seconds or more or something like that. It's I don't know.
Let's not even talk about trying to go back in online arenas. When you're trying to like change something or you want to kick somebody. Oh, the game's gonna be like, ready? It's like, no, I'm not ready. I'm trying to kick this thing.
Yeah.
Like, get this man out of here.
And that's a good segue because we gotta talk about the online, and I guess we'll talk about the arena. So, I would say the arenas are pretty straight. They're definitely the best part of the online.
Right.
But just like the offline, there's small, easily fixable problems that cause huge annoyances. And that's what he said with if you're trying to change your character while you're in an arena and you're up, you actually have to step out of line completely. So God forbid it's a full room of like 8 people, because let's say you're dropping everybody, you're kicking everyone's ass, but you're like, you know what? I feel like playing a different character. Guess what? You're going to have to give up your spot and become the last person in line just because you changed your character. You cannot change your character or stage and keep your spot. You can't even change the music.
Right.
Because you can change the lobby music in Smash. You can use any track in the game, which is awesome. It's a dope feature. But to do it, you got to give up your spot. And that's some horseshit. Now, like I said, arenas are definitely the best part of Ultimate Online. It definitely has, they definitely run smoother than the random quick play matchmaking or whatever.
100%.
100%.
Yeah. That's not up for debate.
That's not like a placebo or anything like that. Like, they actually just runs way better. Less input delay, way more stable for sure. but they just need to like iron out this whole having to step out of line for doing any little thing, and then the arenas will be 100% just awesome, good to go, and great. I feel like I'm missing one thing about arenas. What is that? I feel like I'm missing one thing. I think it's the spectating.
Oh, how you have like a very small time frame to actually be able to spectate a match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a you cannot switch characters. Even if you're already in the back of the line and you want to switch characters while you're in line, you don't have enough time to spectate the match. Period. Honestly, what they should do, because when you select a different character in the arenas, it goes to a completely different screen that it loads up. It goes to the character select screen. I think they should change it to where you click on the tile at the bottom right, and it's just like a little scroll bar of the characters, and you just do that right there on that screen. Because I think the reason why it stops you from spectating is because it has to load up a different screen entirely, and that kind of locks you out of being able to spectate. But if you're able to do all these changes on the screen, I think that would maybe fix that issue. I don't know. I didn't code the game, obviously, but that's what I'm assuming. That's what I'm thinking. It is. I'm not sure. But yeah, like arena is definitely the best part. They just need to fix this crap where you step out of line or you have to opt out of spectating for a match. Is that it with the arenas? I think that's it with arenas. Now, the general matchmaking.
that shit is trash.
Garbage.
That shit is straight trash.
Absolute garbage. Netcode. Okay, I'll say this. Like, it definitely runs a lot smoother than Smash 4. But I feel like this game has sacrificed input delay for smoothness. So even if you do get a game that's not like stuttering, it's not like lagging per se. It's like the smoother the game, the more input delay. If the game is chugging, if it's like lagging, then you actually have like less input delay type deal. It's super weird. Like there's always a trade-off. Very, very rarely, if at all, will you get a game where the input delay feels good and the game running feels good at the same time. It's usually either or. How's your experience been with that? Like, is that what you've been going through?
Well, first of all, if you play Inkling, you're fried. your internet is trash.
Ink rolling in that lag.
Like that roller and lag is unplayable.
Getting those free kills.
Like it's stupid. Like I have not ran into an Inkling in matchmaking that was not lagging.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
They're doing that shit on purpose.
I know,
like,
bro.
They know.
They have to know.
They know.
Yo, my internet is godlike, bro. Every time I crank this roller, my shit chugs. Just like
they're on one side of the stage, and a second later, bam, you're just in the ground. Also, like, whoa, what the hell?
That's what I'm saying. Like, and the thing is, like, these players play so naturally in this lag.
They're used to it.
So it's just like it's so annoying, bro. Like certain characters are broken with lag, like straight up. Zelda's one of them.
Oh yeah.
It's impossible to fight a Zelda on lag, dude.
Yeah, there's definitely a online lag meta for sure. Zelda being probably like top tier, and King DDD. Don't forget about that. But that's kind of getting into like the players and the player base. The player base online is absolutely awful matchmaking. Honestly, just stick to arenas. Although people are still garbage in that.
Yeah, the whole GSP system is pretty trash.
Fraudulent.
Like the whole you're no longer in Elite Smash even though you ended the night in Elite Smash.
Absolutely fraudulent.
Like it makes I don't know. I was done after that, bro. Like after having to play those particular matches to get into Elite Smash, I go to bed. Wake back up.
You've been
and
kicked
then
out.
like, yeah, I'm not in Elite Smash. Like, I'm sorry. I'm cool, bro. I'm cool.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, the way GSP works is unlike any other fighting or any other game that has ranking, period, honestly. I can't think of another game that's had a similar ranking system to this that's not a Nintendo game, you know what I mean? But GSP stands for Global Smash Power. All it is an arbitrary-ass number that shows how many people you're better than. Which really doesn't tell you too much because you don't know how many people are online. So like I think right now the GSP for, well, at least yesterday, last night, I think it was like you have to have 1.7 to be an Elite Smash, something like that. Today is probably like 1.8 because it changes literally depending on how much the game sells, right? Because If the game sells more, there's going to be more people coming online. So because there's more people coming online, that could boost your GSP because there's more people that you're better than. Or it can lower it because more people buy the game and they get high scores and then that boots you down. So it's, percentage based, and it's based on also just the raw number of people who own the game. And it's crazy because on Friday when the game came out on the 7th, I had like a 97 like win ratio, and I wasn't in Elite Smash. I played no matches, woke up the next morning, and then I was in Elite Smash. Although I didn't play any additional matches. So it's like you can get Elite Smash or lose Elite Smash simply based on how everyone else is doing rather than your own performance. And again, the number is completely arbitrary. It doesn't necessarily tell you how good you are. Now, obviously, if someone has like 500,000 more than everyone else, you can tell that person's, better than 99% of the community. But I don't think anyone has that type of gap in the GSPs.
No, I don't think so either.
And there's just really no way to tell how much better or how much worse than you are for someone, especially considering, and this is one of the main problems, and they kind of improved it in the second patch, but it's still not guaranteed. But you can search for 1v1s because Ultimate has a preference-based matchmaking system. So there is no official 1v1 mode. There's no official 2v2 mode. There's no official free-for-all or item mode. Everything is situated to where you set a preference and you search for other people who have your preference or similar to it. And they did a second patch, which makes it better, makes it a lot better. But the fact that it's still not guaranteed is ridiculous because a lot of people will lose GSP because they get into a free-for-all with a Kirby camping at the ledge. Or, a Zelda, just spamming her ass and, just degenerate things, getting into 2v2s, items on, going to fucking Mario Kart stages, stages with walls, Draculas or people camp on the stairs, crap like that. So that's another reason why GSP is fraudulent outside of like not being an actual ranking number, right? There's no ranking system. There's no leaderboard where you can, let me look at the top 100. Let me look at the top 100 of this particular character. There's none of that. You just have this arbitrary number where you're not sure what the fuck it means. And, I mean, even if it's low, it's like, okay, it could be low because that guy keeps getting into free-for-alls or something like that. And Elite Smash, for those of you who don't know, it's supposed to be this exclusive matchmaking system for the top percentile players, for the more skilled players. But I've played absolutely trash people in Elite Smash. And everyone in Elite Smash are not 1v1 players. Someone can search for free-for-alls and do doubles with items on, go to jank stages, and still get into Elite Smash. Because Elite Smash is not a competitive playlist.
It's not.
I can't even call it a playlist.
Like, what's funny about... Alright, so there's a couple of things. What's funny about Elite Smash is, like you said, there's some really bad players in there. And, and your initial thought is, this is Elite Smash?
Yeah.
Like, this man is literally just sitting here spamming special moves right now.
Yeah.
Rolling every 2 seconds.
Rolling 50 times, which you can get away with online on this lag.
Now, let me tell you how I outplayed this Crom in Elite Smash, guys. This game put us on the Phantom Hourglass stage with the train. Or the Minish Cap. I don't know which Zelda game that
I think that's Spirit Tracks.
It's Spirit
Tracks, yeah.
Whatever game that's from. We're on the train. And I was playing a Crom. All I had to do to beat this man was knock him to the right, off stage. He tried to up B recover, landed on tracks, immediately died. Outskilled, bro.
Completely outskilled.
Elite Smash, bro.
But yeah, that's Elite Smash.
That's Elite Smash.
So we thought that would be competitive players like Safe Haven. We're like, okay, regular matchmaking is trash, but once we get to Elite Smash, it'll be like, tournament style play. Nah. Any stage is accessible.
Nah.
Items can be turned on. You can still get into free-for-alls. You can still do doubles. Elite Smash does not guarantee you 1v1s with items off.
I'm over here still on the Game Boy stage, the scrolling.
the scrolling. Game Boy stage.
Like, one of the first stages I ran into was the F-Zero, like the old school Super Nintendo F-Zero.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that
stage is an eyesore to look at, man.
This is Elite Smash, my boy.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Congratulations.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't play Smash, but you've played Street Fighter, the NetherRealms games, any of the anime fighters, you're not going to want to play this game online if you're trying to look to play Smash. At least not the actual matchmaking. Arenas are cool or whatever. But as far as, a ranking system, you might as well not do it because you're not going to be able to tell how good you are relative to everyone else. Because, again, there are no leaderboards. Right. There's no true leaderboards. There's no filter. I don't even think there's a leaderboard for, like, your friends. Like you and your friends. Like every other fighting game has. So you can't even see how good you are compared to your friends unless you call them because you can't contact them on your Switch. Oh, my bad. You can't contact them on your Switch because your Switch has no communication with people on your friends list. So you got to call them up and ask them for their GSP, get a notepad and a pen and write down everyone's GSP. And that way you can rank your friends. But, like there's... I swear to God, the reason why it's set up this way is because Sakurai doesn't want people to feel like losers. That's what it boils down to. He doesn't want people, especially kids, to feel like they're bad by giving them, these bad rankings. Because with GSP, everyone's GSP is going to be a large number, right? Like, even if a motherfucker has, like, 10K, which would be, like, at the fucking bottom of the rankings, a kid's going to be like, oh, 10,000! That's a big number. I'm good at this game. Like, no. So, like, everyone else, with the majority of the people that are going to be playing online anyways, we have to suffer. Those who want to, play, or not even just the competitive players, because there's plenty of casuals who want to play online and, just try to, beat someone up, play 1v1. That's not just a tourney player thing. Like, there's tons of casuals that play competitively as well. They're just not, like, super serious. But, yeah. They may want to play, 1v1 or something, but we have to suffer for the sake of Sakurai wanting to make everyone feel good. Everyone's a winner. Everyone has a large number, in their arbitrary-ass GSP. And that's honestly what I really feel like it boils down to, because otherwise I don't see the logic behind this game at all. Like I said, your GSP can change simply off of more people buying copies of the game. Like,
can we talk about? Actually, we don't even need to talk about it because it's just stupid in concept alone.
What?
The fact that you lose more GSP if you lose a round than you gain if you win.
Yeah. And I don't know if this has been everyone's experience, but I've seen people talk about it on Twitter. It really seems like you lose way more GSP than you gain. So in order to gain GSP, sometimes it can feel like you have to win like 3 to 4 times more matches than you actually lose.
Yeah, like if you win like 2 rounds in a row but lose the next one, then your 2 wins.
Your progress is gone. Yeah, that shit is just gone. And I think that's changed a little bit depending on who you're losing to, whatever. But even for players who've had a higher GSP than me, I've lost more than I've gained beating them. Like, I swear to God, like it's weird. It's so backwards. Like, it just makes no sense. So it's like Sakurai wants everyone to be a winner, but at the same time, you're losing more GSP than you gain. Like, I don't get it, man.
That's the type of thing you would have in a ladder system.
Yeah.
Like, the whole point to climb the ladder is you have to keep winning.
Yeah.
Right? But there is no ranking, so what is the point of having something like
that? There is no real climb. I mean, the only climb there is simply getting to Elite Smash.
But even that's not even much of a climb because
you can do it in 6 matches.
Exactly. Like, that whole first day when you were playing matchmaking, I didn't even go online. I went online the next day, played 6 games. I'm not even kidding, and got to Elite Smash.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
And then, ironically enough, my next game was FFA, and then you already know what that is.
And like, I don't think there's any type of. I don't know what the algorithm is behind it that determines where you're originally set, or why you get like. I don't understand. Like, why is someone able? I mean, not that it's like a huge problem, but it just goes to show how useless it all is. The whole GSP system. How can someone get online, play 5 matches, and get into Elite Smash? Switch said that on Twitter yesterday. I remember he said, I got online for the first time. I think he said, like, after 3, he was just in Elite Smash. It's like, what's the point? Yeah. What's the point if there's no grind? And especially, what's the point if you can't see where you are relative to everyone else? Right. There is nowhere you can go to view where you stand. compared to all the other players. This is the worst ranking system in any relevant, let me say that, relevant fighting game. I don't want you smart asses to be like, there was this one game that got a 30 on Metacritic 10 years ago that was some indie game on Steam. Like, talking about, you know, the Street Fighters, Mortal Kombat, you know, the anime fighters, Blaze Blue and all that stuff. I'm talking about all those. Smash has the worst, most useless, pointless, arbitrary, everyone is a winner ranking system there is to date. Period. Is there anything else? I think we covered it all. I got everything I definitely wrote down. Talked about the input, the buffer, the menus and stuff. Lack of content if you don't like World of Light. I think that's it though. I think that might be.
Any other things that we don't like?
I would say there's other like general stuff. Like I feel like lots of moves are like too safe in this game for sure.
Frame data?
Yeah, frame data. I feel like the frame data is a little out of whack with this game.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things that would get you murdered in other Smash titles are like super YOLO moves are like really super safe. But I don't want to get too much into that.
Young Link's down there.
Yeah, like Young Link's down there. Like a lot of moves that like they're kind of like just burst movement stuff or things where you're like, oh, I'm coming down like really fast type things that will like hit you hard, but they're supposed to be like super punishable type deals. Like super safe in this game. I definitely. Like, it's really hard. I feel like it's really hard to whiff punish a lot of characters in this game, especially online. It's incredibly difficult, but that's, you know, kind of like a balanced thing, not necessarily something wrong with, you know, the game's coding or, like, systematic things like we've been talking about. So I'll probably say that for another video. But, yeah, moves are definitely, like, way too safe. And, like, just, you get reward. You can get, like, go unpunished for just doing, like, high risk, no reward type of attacks. Yeah, just like keep throwing out this low risk, high reward things, and it's very rarely that you'll get punished. Yoshi. But yeah, guys, I think that is it. Like I said, I will put up a video, you know, talking about things I like about Smash, or just kind of throw that into my review that I'll be doing about Ultimate. Like I said, we both enjoy this game, but the reason why I decided to go ahead and make this is because, like, in typical Nintendo fashion, there's small things that cause problems that exist for no reason. Like, they just exist for no reason, or just very poor reasons. It's kind of one of those instances where it could have easily been perfect, could have easily been 10 out of 10, but there's just some very silly, just design choices, just overlook things that just prevent the game just from reaching its absolute, just maximum potential, absolute greatness. This is a great game, but these small things that can be changed in a single update.
Which is crazy because
single update.
Literally none of the previous Smash games had these problems.
Yeah.
Like the character selection.
Outside the GSP. Because 4 had that. But yeah, outside of that. All the things like on the game itself. Yeah.
Like how come it retains character selection on every Smash game prior to
this is the 5th game and they changed that.
Like,
for some reason.
Man.
That's just weird.
Man.
Yeah, but yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I want to talk about. If I come up with anything else, I'll probably just like put in the comments or whatever. Let me know what you guys think down below. If I missed anything, let me know what you guys don't like about this game. And not saying this to nitpick or anything, but again, just easy things, just easy small things, and that's why we're actually talking about. Because if it was like huge things, then it's like, okay, they may not be able to change that, but these are very small, simple things. Like, an update could easily keep our characters, you know, when we go back to the character select screen and stuff like that. But yeah, that's for this video, guys. It's pretty long, but thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.